Now here's a disturbing fact. Most guitarists who know all their scales and all their modes still can't express musical ideas fluently. And that's because they're trapped in what I call the scale mentality. And it's killing your creativity because you're defaulting to the same licks every time you improvise, and you're definitely very tired of it. I know because I was there myself. I was stuck on that wall probably 12, 13, 14 years. Learned my 3 half-baked licks and played them for 7 years straight without ever having a breakthrough. Of course, I knew all the scales, all the modes, all the same things that you know, but I didn't realize that technical knowledge and creative expression are 2 different universes. So I'm gonna show you the 3-step Turbo Booster practice framework that will break you out of the 3 half-baked licks scale mentality, trying to cram those licks and those scales where they don't belong, because we're gonna cover why scales are actually the problem. And then we're gonna reveal the mindset that changes everything in the systematic practice composition methodology known as the 3-step Turbo Booster framework that trains you to start playing what you hear with respect to harmonic rhythm. So by the end of this video, you'll have 100% clarity on how you need to be practicing in order to never think about a scale when you're soloing ever again. So now let me just explain to you why scales are actually the problem here. When was the last time you had a conversation where every word you said equaled a dictionary definition? Doesn't happen, right? You're using all kinds of idioms, you're using all kinds of stuff between the lines, you're even putting your own style on it. You want to start doing that as a guitarist. So think about the scales as like, you're just looking up the dictionary, oh, that's the right scale with that chord, and then you play it like that. Like that's your whole mindset. That's the trap that you're in. And there's a really straightforward way of breaking out of this trap. Extremely straightforward. Once again, we're gonna hammer it down. Bring out the old practice form 1, just like I was playing at the beginning of the video. This form that's going to be the context of everything, right? So we're not even gonna think about scales, we're gonna think about that form. And how can we just play that form? Well, it's got chord changes, right? So it's got that D flat, major 7, it's got that C7 altered, it's got that F tonic minor, and those chord voicings are all really great, but when I play melody, I'm going to be really intentional about implying that form. And the first level of that intentionality is going to be using triads, okay? So instead of thinking of any kind of scale, I'm just asking myself, what triad can I play on each of these chords? And then only think about doing that until I'm really accurately outlining the form. Like I'm just spoon feeding you the form. You know what I'm doing. All right, let's break this down quickly. You see that I'm just playing these little root position triads here. That's my visual marker in my mind. You see it on that fretboard diagram. Those open up like this. Right, these are starting to get some options because if all I want to play is a simple rhythm like I don't even need any of those other notes. You see what I'm saying? So I'm never forcing anything. If you're thinking more about rhythm, you'll realize you don't have to force more notes. The potency is going to be in the rhythm. You see, we're in 2025, man. Everyone has already played a million notes. I would say for guitarists, the obvious lane is like Really cultivate your rhythmic focus and rhythmic awareness and improvisation and dig deep rhythmically. You're going to accomplish that by simplifying your harmonic perspective. I think about like B.B. King. He literally played like pentatonic on everything. But here's the problem. Everyone's looking at B.B. King thinking,
he plays pentatonic on everything.
no, he plays chord tones on everything, right? So if B.B. King were playing this progression, he would probably play minor pentatonic over the root, but that's not what he's thinking. He's thinking like something like major 7th of the flat 6 chord to the flat 13 of the 5 chord to the flat 7 of the 5 chord back to the 5 of the 1 chord. So he's singing against a bass note like, right? Classic pentatonic, right? It's like, oh, I played that before. Yeah, but he's using the power of the entire universe because he's seeing how each of those pentatonic notes lock into the harmony. So the harmony is guiding and underpinning those pentatonic based decisions. He's literally crossing two simple lanes of thought. What sequence of notes is most implicit of the chord progression, but also the simplest choice, right? So B.B. King is looking for that simplest, like keep it straight up minor pentatonic if you can, which I totally feel. But then you have like Allan Holdsworth and he's playing a lot more saturated ideas, but it's the same mentality, right? Playing chord tones, because when you emphasize the chord tones, you're implying the chord changes within the form, and that's what's actually making the music come to life, right? That's the alchemical burst of energy that happens when you simply follow the roadmap that is the chord progression, or the harmonic rhythm would be a better term than chord progression. Chord progression is a conventional standard term that people use, or chord changes, they use those two terms. I like harmonic rhythm. That's a very important word. And the most cosmic part of it all is it always tends to full circle back on minor pentatonic, right? That's the key. So that flies in the face of, doing more complex scales or whatever, more notes, like screw all that, right? Pentatonic is pretty much the best scale you're gonna use, but the danger would be don't ever think of it like a scale. Think of it like a series of chord tones, because watch what happens if I think about it like a scale. Oh, F minor. Or these are scales. Failed. It's actually really awkward for me to do that. It's fun to force it though, but like when I'm trying to play it from a scale mentality, it's like I'm throwing out the whole concept of rhythm. The rhythm didn't even cross my mind. It didn't even cross my mind to think like, and you tell me which one's better, which one's more interesting. We don't have to agree at some point. What I'm talking about is a matter of taste, but I come at it from the power of rhythm. The power of rhythm is that it's infinite. So the combination of triads, or even just a simple chord tone mentality, in combination with the deep rhythmic intention, which is part of the turbo booster we're going to show in a second, that's more than enough mental leverage to blast open your musical vocabulary, never to be closed ever again. It's literally a critical shift in consciousness, which can really be boiled down to the idea of collaborative mindset, right? You're collaborating with the harmonic rhythm. That's always what it is, right? That's the second big point of this video, which takes me to the third crucial point and final point of this video, the 3-step turbo booster framework. This is the systematic approach to practice. Now, you guys who watched my videos before, you've seen me talk about this. We're just gonna do it again. And of course, practice form 1, aka the cantus firmus. So what is the turbo booster on this? Well, we're gonna pick a specific pathway, and then we're gonna pick a specific rhythm. And that's literally all we're going to do. Watch how it blows up from here. So a specific pathway might be, I see 3 distinct fretboard configurations, one for each specific chord change, and I'm seeing how those intersect in this part of the fretboard. That's implicit in the Turbo Booster Practice Framework. So you can get my free course. I literally made an entire free course, so I know I'm not talking to people who don't know what I'm talking about, but if you don't really follow exactly what I'm saying right now, get that free course, Intro to Fretboard Mastery. That's gonna make it 100% clear what I just did, why I just did it, and what's implicit in the 3-step Turbo Booster Practice Framework. Because what I'm actually gonna do here is just define a specific rhythm along that path. pathway, right? I'm not going to use the entire pathway. I'm going to use a specific part of the pathway that I choose just out of a, call it a creative choice, and then I'm going to choose a rhythm. Now that's the key. Choose a rhythm. You're like,
What? What does that even mean?
yeah, exactly. You don't think enough about rhythm. Like, let me show you a thing or two about rhythm here, all right? When I say choose a specific rhythm, I mean something as simple as like this. 3, 4. See how I was developing. So the power of this rhythmic specificity is what I just demonstrated to you here, but you see that the improvisation that I'm doing on that, the variation, right? The variation that I'm doing on that. That is just an inevitable feeling that comes with once I've locked down that rhythm so much, I start to feel comfortable and I start to do things. You have to understand comfort. You create comfort in real time by locking in to that harmonic rhythm. You have no comfort from scales. The harmonic rhythm is all of your comfort. So I chose a specific rhythm. That's the step 1 of the turbo booster, right? That's what we're on, specific rhythm. When I started to improvise, I took it into step 2, which is just improvising upon the specific rhythm. So you don't lose the specific rhythm. It's always guiding you, but you start to create variations on it. Now, step 3 of the turbo booster is very, very simple. From there, you just take a second rhythm and you compound it. So this is a really easy thing to do. So if I pulled out a second rhythm, let me just compose a second rhythm real quick. How about... We mix those together, things blast off scarily. And I understand I didn't give you every detail. That would be literally impossible, right? I need to get inside your mind, speak to you one-on-one to really show you the power of this stuff. But I'm trying to give you a good demo. I'm trying to give you something to practice here. I think it's really simple. You need to follow the harmonic rhythms. You have to work on harmonic rhythms. So you have the V scale, okay? You guys know the V scale? The V scale is going to guide you on which harmonic rhythms to work on. For most of you guys want to start on practice form 1, V0. So to get that, do the Intro to Fretboard Mastery, the free course, and you'll understand what systematic creation through practice and composition actually looks like. How do you develop as a monstrous guitarist? It's all through the collaborative mindset. And the harmonic rhythms, it cannot be overstated. They hold the keys to all. It's very simple. It's very simple. You master the art of harmonic rhythm. Master the art of chord changes. Master the art of chord progressions. Harmonic rhythm. You need to think about it rhythmically. It's a rhythmic thing, right? It's harmony moving through time. It's rhythmic. So what your practice implementation here is to decide on a specific rhythm and develop that through a specific pathway. Now, you're going to need the Intro to Fretboard Mastery to do that. That's going to absolutely ensure that you'll never really think in terms of scale again. It's going to bust open an entire new visualization schematic of the fretboard. But here's what you got to remember. This is your guiding principle. Your musicality, right? Your guitar playing, it has everything to do with your ability to understand harmonic rhythm as a collaborative force in your musicianship, okay? The harmonic rhythms are guiding you, right? That's a micro sense. In a macro sense, you could think of all the songs ever written, the jazz standards or the Beatles songs or whatever. All these songs ever written, they're harmonic rhythms. And so the basic practice of great musicianship is to understand all the harmonic rhythms, as many as you possibly can, and from that, learn composition and also learn technique, because on your instrument, you're going to be arranging those harmonic rhythms. As an improviser, you'll be playing solos, or as an accompanist, you'll be playing chords, or you'll be playing both. It just boils down to this simple concept. It's so crazy. I hope you guys see the simplicity of it. If you do, definitely subscribe, because I've got crazy levels of whirlwind videos coming out. It's gonna be not even funny. That's why I'm not laughing as much in this video, I don't think. Because things are getting crazy. Like what I'm saying to you guys, it's like, is it really that simple? Yeah, it is, because I keep seeing it and we're doing it in the school. Systems for Creation, I'll put that as the last link in the description. See you guys soon. Oh, and here's one. If you want the backing track, get Intro to Fretboard Mastery, reply to the emails, and I'll give you the backing track. You know, this one.